Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of Home Solutions. Dennis Purvis in studio with you here in the Mix 1041 studios. Happy Saturday. Hope you're doing well. As always, we're brought to you by Pro 93 Home Solutions. I'm so happy to be here today, man. And just listen, as we go through, if you're thinking about anything, maybe you're driving around this morning listening to us on either the Buzz or Mix, and you're headed out to do that honeydew list. Hopefully, we'll give you some tips and ideas today to help you with some of your projects. But hey, if some of this stuff is outside of your pay grade and you want to call in someone to help, we would love to help you at Pro 93 Home Solutions. No matter what kind of home improvement you're doing, big or small, maybe you wanted that kitchen or bathroom redone, maybe you want to add an addition, maybe you want to build a garage, maybe you want to build a new house. We would love to help you out. Give us a call. We're licensed general contractors here in Tennessee. 458-4135. Cherie will probably answer the phone and she'll be able to set up an estimate, obviously free of charge. We'd love to come out and see how we can partner with you, and we want to thank you ahead of time for the chance to earn your business. And listen, we also have don't forget our clean team. Wendy and the crew, they're ready to come out for any residential or light commercial cleaning. We would love to get you on the schedule for that as well. Again, our number is 458-4135, or you can look us up online at pro93homesolutions.com. So there's my shameless plug for the week. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Finally got a week with not all rain, which was nice. But today I'm got a repeat guest who been a friend of mine for a long, long time. I'm happy that we get to work together today. But I've got Rob Taylor from Perfect Paint Pros in here today. How you doing today, Rob?
Doing well, Dennis. How you doing?
Doing, man. Thanks for being here. So today we're gonna concentrate on all things painting. It's probably one of the when it comes to home improvements, it's probably, would you say, is one of the things most people try to tackle on their own?
Yeah, I'd say more than most things. Yeah, everybody's got that paintbrush in their hand.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
But I can tell you the fact that they have a business that does really well, that sometimes it's stuff you don't want to paint, or maybe you just don't want to get on that ladder. No one's wanting to paint their gutters today. No. Take the shutters off and paint them.
Professionals.
Yes. And that's where these guys come in. So before we get started, I'm going to let Rob tell a little bit of his story, but I just want to say, we've worked together now for a couple of years, and the quality of their work, of what they do, I don't have to worry about finishing things on projects, because if I could sum up what they do is finish. The things, you may not see the floor structure we put into your addition. You may not see the walls, the studs, the roof system, but you know what you are going to see?
See the paint.
Yes, pretty painted walls, that nice trim, having that semi-gloss look out there on that crown mold.
Oh, man.
That's the stuff.
We can make it pop.
Yes, you can say it, because I've seen you do it. I've got lots of happy customers. I encourage you, go take a look at our Facebook and Google reviews. You'll see a lot of 5-star reviews. We're happy for that. So thank you to everybody, and thank you to Rob and Jeremy and all the crew over there at Perfect Paint. You guys do a fantastic job. So, Rob, for everybody out there, let's first of all tell us a little bit about the company itself and how you and Jeremy got together in this thing.
Sure. Yeah, first off, my business partner, Jeremy, can't be here today. Jeremy Renner, you guys are local and know him. My name's Rob Taylor, born and raised here, went to Cleveland High School, go Blue Raiders. So we've been painting for a while. Jeremy and I, it's our second go. We had actually both lived out of town for a little while, had a paint company, came back, started this one, 3 years ago, and it has been just nonstop. Yeah. And we do pretty much anything paint, interior, exterior, concrete, staining, you name it, we take care of it.
And this all started because I didn't even know you were back in town. Yeah, I see you got the hat on today. But we met at Sherwin-Williams.
That's right, yeah.
We were in there.
To those guys.
Yes, thanks to Woody and the guys over there. We get in there, and I was like, Rob. And he's like, Purvis, what are you doing?
Right.
And we start talking. I'm like, hey, we need to talk.
Yes.
And it's just been
worked out well.
It has worked out well for both of us. And so you guys got into this. You guys been going, you guys said, about 3 years. You talked about anything paint, but you guys also do staining.
Oh, yeah.
Any deck
coatings.
Any coatings, really, you guys can do?
Exactly. Yeah, we've done commercial. We do residential is probably the bread and butter. I'd say that's probably 80%.
Yeah.
And then the rest is commercial. But, yeah, any kind of specialty coatings. Some people want an accent wall with that kind of suede texture and stuff. We do that all the way down to just new construction stuff, things
Yeah,
like that.
and I know you guys have also just little things for us. You guys have done some specialty stuff with us on painting fireplaces stone.
Oh yeah,
Painting-
absolutely.
being
I'll
able
tell
to
you,
paint
the
that.
whitewash has been our big thing lately.
Lime
I mean,
wash?
yeah, the
That's,
lime wash.
That's one
yeah.
of the things. I'm glad you said that because that's what I was going to put up, folks. It is not as popular here as it is in other locations, but it is. We never got a. Is it weird to you? Like, did you? It's like until about a year ago, I got sporadic calls about it.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, it was like every other person that had brick
Yeah.
wanted some lime washing.
Yeah, it had to be on HGTV.
Yeah.
because it was all of a sudden.
Property Brothers, something.
Exactly.
There's something going on because, and folks, I can tell you, there's a lot of brick in our area of the country. But if you want to have kind of a cool
Oh yeah, European.
Yes.
absolutely.
look to kind of reinvigorate the look of your house, you need to, if you don't know what it is, Google it.
Google it. Absolutely.
But talk a little bit about what is in the process and how you guys do it, because it's almost like an art.
Absolutely. And so there's a couple different ways. Some people, they use kind of whitewash as kind of an umbrella.
Yeah.
The more traditional way is the lime wash, which is actually using mined lime.
Yeah.
That you mix into a paste and you apply it on. And then you do multiple layers depending on how much you want, the brick to show through. And it's typically one of those things like talking about being kind of an artistic thing where you do have some brick show through, some thin, some thick. And we do everything from a full exterior house to we've done just somebody's interior fireplace.
Yeah.
Just to set off a room. And so we can do it from big to little, whatever you want to do on that.
And listen, depending on what else you're doing to your exterior, I know most folks now on newer houses, the days of having just a brick house or just a sided house, now you've got multiple exteriors,
textures.
multiple,
Absolutely.
You're mixing lap with board and batten and then brick or stone in the front, even if it's just a veneer.
Yep.
But folks, lime washing is something, and to be truthful, it's not as expensive as you would think.
No.
And it's a relatively inexpensive way to set off the look of your house.
Absolutely, it changes everything
Yeah.
on there. Yeah, absolutely. And the nice thing with lime wash, while the labor versus painting is probably somewhat similar, maybe a tad bit more, the material cost is a whole lot less.
Yeah.
Lime is just not that expensive.
Yeah.
And so where you're not going down and buying a bunch of paint, sorry, Sherwin-Williams, but the lime wash can be an economical way to just change the whole dynamic. You do a lime wash on a brick house, then you paint the front door and the shutters. Suddenly, it looks like a brand new home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's you do have to be a little, because people get a little awkward when you walk in. You can't buy a shovel when you buy all that lime because
Right,
people are going to be
exactly.
wondering what you're going to put in your trunk later.
Exactly.
Just say I work for a guy. I work for that guy. Just But
Yes.
if you go to, in fact, you can see one of these on our website. If you go to pro93homesolutions.com, go to our gallery page, and one of the houses on there is a kind of sits back off the road a little bit, but it's a white house. It's the one we did in Hickson.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a white house. Did we do black shutters? Is it
Black
shutters?
Maybe black gutters.
Yeah, it's black trim, and then the brick at the bottom is lime washed, and you can see what that looks like. And it makes, I was not sure of it. The folks the customers actually moved from California, and it's a big selling item out there. They don't like red brick in California. They want everything looking and
red in
and well, yeah,
California.
and so it's I was not real sure about it, but it turned out fantastic.
It did. It looked really good. They were happy with it.
Yes.
And it just updates that whole, here they had like a more of a traditional style house, and it just updated the whole feel of that house.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it's absolutely one of those things that that you guys can look into. And if so, how do if that's something they're being, I've been looking for somebody to lime wash. How do they get a hold of you guys?
Yeah. Probably the easiest way is email.
Yeah.
Just because it's just 24/7 on that.
Yeah.
You just email me, rob@perfectpaintpros.com. Obviously, they can get in touch with you. And
Yeah.
say, call Pro 93 Home Solutions, say, hey, we need a lime wash. Dennis calls me, and we'll take care of it for you.
They're the ones that are going to be taking care of it for you. So yeah, it's something you can do. So what other trends are you seeing right now out there that folks are doing, especially on the exteriors or even interiors? What kind of things are you seeing that are, as people are starting to get back into the flow of things? What are you seeing out there as things that maybe came out of nowhere or just?
A lot of it on the painting side is more color. We
Yeah.
see just trends in colors. right now it's all black gutters, white houses. That seems like what we're
Yeah.
just doing everywhere. And a lot of people aren't aware that we can paint gutters. And so if you've had, white or off-white gutters, you say, hey, I want this new black gutter look. We pull off the downspouts, spray the gutters, and give that an updated look without having to change the gutters.
And I don't want to tell trade secrets, but we had Danny on from Drain Right Gutters a few weeks ago. And let me just tell you, if you're getting colored gutters installed, folks, they're painting them. Because they if they don't have the metal, their metal only comes in so many colors when they run those out. So, and that's something that's not a whole super expensive. That can really, you only notice gutters when they don't work, when they're brand new,
Right.
when they don't work, or when they become an eyesore.
Exactly.
And it's one of those things you can do as long as their functionality is still good.
Yeah.
Painting gutters it's another one of those inexpensive ways to really make your house pop.
Yeah, update the look of that house. Absolutely.
Get a little better feel when you pull in the driveway.
Yep.
Are you seeing, it seems to me in siding, we do a lot of siding, and the blues and the greens with names like Midnight Surf.
Right.
Midnight
You sold me on
Surf.
that.
Yeah.
I want it now myself.
Or sea salt green.
Yes.
But it's a lot of that, but again, a lot of mixed
Absolutely.
exterior, mixed color.
Yeah, where you have different sections of the house and different stuff. Yeah, it's not just that kind of plain look anymore. It's going to pop it out there.
And we just there'll be to that end. We'll have I just got the pictures back, so I'll have those uploaded here sometime before the 4th here. But we've got a house we just did that again, another one of those. I wasn't sure about it, but it was a deep Midnight Surf blue siding with wicker, like kind of a tan beige. I'm horrible with colors. Gutters and trim. And I was not sure how that was going to look.
How'd it go?
Fantastic. And then we got custom shutters, like kind of shaker style shutters.
Okay.
And instead of painting them, and this is an idea out there, folks, if you can find somebody to do it, she had somebody in her family that could burn. Did the wood
nice.
burning.
Absolutely.
Burned it, and then we just clear coated them and hung them.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you,
The burn look is cool.
it looks really, really nice.
Have you seen that new Keller Williams building? They built at exit
Yes.
25.
Yeah.
They have a burned wall inside.
Oh,
of it.
yes.
Yeah, you have to check that out. It's
I need to
beautiful.
get over there, yeah.
It's really nice.
Shout out to Steve Black. How you doing there?
Yep, Steve Black, and then Tricon built that for him. And,
Yeah.
just a beautiful building, and it has a multi-texture. It's got
Yeah.
the stone, the
Yep.
brick, and the siding on it.
And you're seeing a lot of that, folks. So don't be afraid to mix things up. And if you're wanting to freshen up the outside of your house, you're not stuck anymore.
Right.
You're feeling like, oh, I got to do one thing. If you don't want to, say you've got siding on your home, and you feel like, oh, I'm just tired of looking at this box with this siding. Maybe just take the front off and do something there.
You just put a board and batten on the front,
Yeah,
something like that.
Maybe in the dormers, depending on what your roof line looks like. Folks, give us a call. We at this point, we've got lots of. We don't even have to Google stuff. We can show you stuff on our
Right.
personal pages that shows the things we've done. And I feel like there's been permission. Maybe it is from HGTV and all that
Right.
stuff, where you can be a little more daring with what you're doing.
Daring, that's the right word, absolutely.
Because you're seeing this, and even in the new builds, the new homes going in here around town.
Yeah, a lot more creativity with
Yeah.
it, and a lot more variety, which is fun. It's nice. It's not as much of the cookie cutter. You mentioned the vinyl siding. One thing that we used to, it was a big no-no, was painting vinyl siding.
Yeah.
Now, especially here again with Sherwin-Williams, there's some special products. The problem in the past was, as the paint dried, it would shrink a little bit and would cause it to warp. And so they have certain colors now that we can do vinyl siding. We did it last year with you guys
Yep.
with Carroll Printing.
Yes.
And turned out just fantastic.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And that's something. If you want to see some of all of our work, go down and shout out to Andrea and Ty Boddicker down there at Carroll Printing down on First Street, right there at, I believe it's First and Parker. Is
That
that
should be Parker, right by the police station there.
Yeah, right across from the police station. We kind of redid their facade, side of their building, and I won't tell you what's coming on the side of that building, but I'm telling you, the Perfect Paint Pros went and laid down a base coat for something spectacular that's going to be coming. I probably need to get Andrea in here one week.
That would be great. Yeah,
and get her and Ty in here and let them talk a little bit. But they've got some things they're going to be showing out downtown. But look at the front of their building. That building had kind of looked the same. Well,
Jeez.
I got here 25 years ago.
Same thing.
And it looked like that since I've been there.
Yeah.
I love Lavoie, but he liked going to the same place every day. But if you want to see what we did, and it, folks, not a super expensive thing. New windows. We did some windows, new siding, new paint, new trim, new lights underneath. But just go by and check it out. And I would encourage you to go in the evening so you can see how they're setting off. They've got a new sign coming, new things coming. So that was a fun one to work on, just because it's
just an icon.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
like right there in the middle of town. So listen, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk to Rob a little bit about giving you guys some tips on what are some things you guys can do if you're wanting to do some things outside paint-wise. Talk a little bit about some do's and don'ts, and maybe some tricks of the trade. So we come back, we'll give you some tips. Stay right there. Don't turn that dial. Hi, Facebook world. Don't click off. We'll be back here in just a second. You're listening to Home Solutions on Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz. Are you tired of going to YouTube or Google for answers to your home improvement questions? Maybe you have more projects than you have time. No matter where you are in the process, Pro 93 Home Solutions is ready to serve you. Pro 93 is a local, veteran-owned company offering residential and commercial remodeling, cleaning, and security. Contact us today at 458-4135 or online at pro93homesolutions.com. Let the pros at Pro 93 find the solution for your home or business. That's 458-4135. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. Dennis Purvis in studio with Rob Taylor from Perfect Paint Pros. PPP. We are talking all things paint today. And we talked a little bit about trends there in that first segment if you guys were with us. But now we're going to talk a little bit about, let's talk about those DIYers out there, Rob. The people that are standing at a paint desk right now. They're headed to a box store, one of the paint companies here locally, to take care of that. So you say you want to tackle, and I would say that people are much more likely to paint the interior of their homes.
Yes, less ladder work typically.
Why does the exterior scare so many people?
I think it's just height.
Yeah.
And just also you don't want to mess that up. That's what everybody sees driving by. Interior, if you take that roller and you bump the ceiling once or twice, nobody's going to see that unless a painter comes in.
Yeah.
But on the outside, you just want the outside looking good.
So what are, if somebody who does, they've got some experience, they want to tackle this, what is kind of the first thing they've got to think about when they're doing anything exterior?
First off is cleaning it. You want to pressure wash that.
There you
because
go.
You want to get it clean so that you got something good to adhere to. And so I would start with pressure washing for sure.
And folks, it's and that's something that you can give us a call, give Rob a call. We offer that usually as a package when we do our exterior painting.
Yeah, absolutely.
We take care of that. And Rob, just because we have it in a minute, how do people get a hold of you? If anything you're hearing there you don't want to do yourself, you can give them a call. And how they get a hold of you guys?
Sure, yeah. Shoot me an email, rob@perfectpaintpros.com. You can call me at 299-5667. If you don't get me, because that, if we're out in the field, we don't always answer that, leave me a voicemail, shoot me a text on that number, and we'll get back in touch with you.
Fantastic. So first step, we got to clean it. And then making sure you got the right kind of paint is probably next, isn't it?
I've seen so many people use interior paint on the outside, and then all that hard work is just gone in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people paint their front doors, and they use an interior paint on that, which that's an easy way to update, too. Just paint your front door. Change that color up.
But it needs to be an exterior paint.
Exterior paint. You
Yes.
know, so that, with it, you want a good product, and then you want, get a good brush and a good roller if you're doing it that way. A lot of people go down, they'll buy the cheapest thing they can. It makes a huge difference to have a good brush.
Guys, listen, I know this from experience. Painting a door is not as easy as you would think it would be. And one thing I can tell you that I learned the hard way, if you're going to do a couple coats, and if you're changing color dramatically, you're going to need to, or you've got a fresh door you just bought and installed and it's been primed, it's going to soak it up. You're going to need 2 coats. You need to wait till that first coat is completely dry.
Yes,
where you will
absolutely.
see every brush line, every roller mark. It's unforgiving. And then you're going to do what I did the first time I painted a door and got laughed at, because I just kept throwing more paint to the problem and thinking that was going to fix it. No. All I did was compound the problem.
Yes, absolutely.
So exterior paint's having the right things. Folks, I think the other thing is, not just paint, but you guys do all kinds of coatings. This time of year, people are spending more time outside on their decks, their wood decks. Let's talk just a minute about staining and sealing.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
And first of all, doing a good, at least you don't have to change the color, but applying a good seal every year is going to lengthen the life of your deck exponentially.
Absolutely. absolutely. And depending on the product, it doesn't have to necessarily be every year.
Yeah.
But in stains, there's three main ones: transparent, semi-transparent, and solids.
Yeah.
The solids to most people kind of look like a paint.
Yeah.
But it's like a stain that's designed to get soaked in and actually protect the wood. The darker, as far as the amount of pigment, so that solid's going to last longer. A semi-transparent lets more UV rays through, so it deteriorates a little faster. Same thing with transparent. So if you want long-lasting, go with a solid stain. If you want it to show that wood grain through, you're going to have to go with a semi-transparent.
And there's folks that just like that wood look,
Absolutely.
that just want the clear seal.
Yep.
We do suggest that if you're going to do that, put a coat on every year.
Yeah.
If not two, because of the nature of it being clear, the sun's just killing it.
Yeah.
But folks, if you want to alleviate warped rails, think about everybody that's listening has been on a deck where the top handrail is starting to warp up at both ends, especially if it was put together with nails.
Right.
But protecting that stuff, and folks, there's spray stuff now. Even think about this for your lawn furniture, your patio furniture, waterproofing those things. There you can buy the Scotch Guard in the can, and if I've got some Amish rocking chairs and a big rocker on my front porch. These things still look like new because I grab a few cans at Ace all the time or Beatty's and go out there and spray it down, take it in the yard.
Time.
No, I mean my 11-year-olds can help me with it.
Yeah.
Put a piece of cardboard in the yard and let her rip.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get everything. And it's foolproof. I mean, it really is, but I've had those things for 12, 15 years and they look like the day I got them.
Yep. Yeah, it's preserving them.
Yeah.
It keeps them looking good. Absolutely.
So think about that when you're doing these things. And these are inexpensive things that anybody can really do.
Yeah.
But if you can't,
All right.
we would love. We will help you out. I promise you.
Right.
All right. So we've talked about gutters. Let's talk about shutters. So it seems like there's more and more people trying to get away from shutters. There seems to be a little bit of a trend now to go with just like a really wide kind of I don't even know the wide wrap around them. You're seeing kind of a shutterless windows, especially on the front.
Yep.
But shutters are something that most folks could paint themselves, correct?
Yeah. So the trick to shutters is if it's easy to get off the house or not.
Yes.
If you've got shutters on your brick, unless you've got a lot of tape to use, I wouldn't suggest painting that yourself.
Yeah.
Because one touch on the paintbrush on that brick, you're
there.
not cleaning it off of there.
It's there.
So if you're do it yourself and you don't paint every day, use tape.
Yeah.
That way it just makes everything clean, nice clean lines. But yeah, tape them off, paint them yourself, change the look of your house.
And if you can get them off, it makes it even easier because
You set them on a sawhorse, paint them off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what do you suggest for shutters? Is that something you guys like to spray, or is that something you guys like to brush, roll? What do you guys use for that?
Yeah, it depends on how many. I mean, if we've got 2 to do, we'll just get out there and brush those things.
Yeah.
If we got to do 40 of them, let's take them off, lay them out, spray them, and go quicker with that.
Yeah.
So it's more about just the speed factor on that. Both of them do well. Once you get into louvers, brushing that is just a little tedious.
Yeah.
But no problem at all.
And that's one thing, again, make sure it's an exterior paint.
Yes.
Right.
And there's a lot of shutters that are vinyl.
Yes.
And so you want to get a vinyl paint for that.
And remember that, folks. And if you can get them off and you're not sure what it is, take it to the paint counter. They'll tell you there are paints for everything, folks.
Oh, yeah.
We were just in a house this week, and they want to paint their cast iron tub, and there is a specific paint. They're having issues right now with the old paint flaking.
Exactly.
But there's a specific paint for that kind of stuff, correct?
Yeah, for everything. If we need to paint this microphone, they got paint for that, And so, and we do a lot of those tubs. It's turned into a little niche because we end up being involved in a lot of restoration projects.
Yeah.
So people with just old tubs, iron tubs, or whatever, it's become this little niche thing. And we've actually, it's Jeremy's wife, Christy.
Yeah.
That's just her project. Anytime we get a tub, she's got it. She's got the equipment. She just goes in there and knocks it out.
Speaking of which, Jeremy, we miss you today.
Yes, we do.
I know you don't think maybe you don't think. I think you've got a great face for radio.
Oh, it's the best.
We miss him. I mean, I think that's really the theme you should take today is that Jeremy.
Yeah.
You should have been here, buddy.
Yeah. We need to get him to a live remote or something.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. Maybe on site, somebody says.
ladder?
Yeah. Yes. Even better.
Yes.
So yeah, painting tubs, painting shutters, painting stone. Guys, make sure just because it's interior or exterior, there is way more. Cabinets. If you're painting your cabinets, even in the garage, in the kitchen, there's cabinet paint.
Yeah. And a big part of what determines it is what it was painted with before.
Yes.
Obviously, if it's oil before, you're not going over it with latex. It just won't last. And so there are some new primers that help you make that transition. But go to a paint store. Go to, like I said, Sherwin-Williams, or even the PPG guys and stuff like that. Those guys are so knowledgeable. You can just go and say, this is what I'm doing. And they'll give you 3 options, because everybody has a different price point on the lines of paint.
Yeah.
And so they'll point you in the right direction for sure.
And to that end, let's give everybody a little inside secret. So everybody's got those price lines on paint. In your opinion, is paying for the top dollar always the best option?
Well, there's differences, and so it just depends on what you're looking at. I mean, if I've got a rental house, I'm not going to put $100 a gallon paint in there.
Yeah.
If I've got the living room that's the showpiece, I'm going to put the good paints in there. There's some new exterior paints that stay cleaner longer. Rain actually has the kind of the nanotechnology, so that grit doesn't adhere, so that even just rain helps clean it off.
Wow.
And so there's some really neat things. We use Sherwin-Williams Duration a ton for both inside and outside. It lasts on time, and it cleans up good. You got little kids around, how you get the handprints from kids just running down the stairs with it? That stuff cleans up better than other paints.
And it's going to go on a little better. You're going to get more out of 1 or 2 coats than you're going to get out of the standard, just
it goes further,
cheaper line.
And it covers better. So if you're, everybody wants these light grays now, like we have in here.
What? Light gray?
Right?
I don't know. I can't remember the last room we painted that wasn't gray.
Oh man, yeah, gray with white trim. I mean,
there you go.
Great.
It does look great.
Yeah, it looks classy. It's what they call that kind of cool tone. So your furniture and everything just always goes well with it, But if you have an older home that had the burgundy walls in it.
Oh, come on.
I never say paint over burgundy. I think burgundy and gray needs to be front and center.
Come on. I firmly agree with that.
But if you're going over a dark color, the better the paint, the better it's going to kind of cover with that.
And talk to real quick, one thing I think everybody should talk about a little bit is you got to think about what color you're going over.
Yes.
If you're going over a bright red and you're trying to go white.
Yes. Playing on a couple coats.
Yeah, guys, you're gonna have some nice pink for a while. It's not that anything's mixing; it's just certain colors are going to just come through just the vibrance and the color wheel.
Absolutely.
Again, these are all questions that folks at the paint counter can help you with. Don't be afraid to give them all the information.
Yes.
I think is the big thing and one of the I think most common things we see mistakes from that is what you said earlier about mixing an oil base with a water base.
Yeah.
Folks, paint has changed in the last 20 years from almost primarily oil to now water everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got to watch that in stain, because when you're buying stains or seals, you'll see an oil base and a water base right next to one another. And if you're doing a stain and then want to put a clear seal over it, you got to make sure if you buy the oil-based stain, you got to buy the oil-based seal.
Absolutely.
So just don't mix those two things up. And just like that, we're out of time.
Out of time.
Listen, man, thank you so much for being here today, Rob.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your work, folks. One more time, how do they get a hold of you guys?
Sure. Give us a call, 299-5667, or shoot me an email, rob@perfectpaintpros.com.
Listen, we appreciate you guys being here today. Folks, things are opening up. Things are getting back to normal. Everybody's hiring in town. I'm excited of what we got coming. So go out there, say hi to your neighbor, mow your grass, love one another. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz.